Hi, and welcome to the moviesummary.com. And today we are going to be talking about the summary of The House of the Dragon, Episode 1. Let's start. The episode is called The Heir of the Dragon. The episode started with a woman narrating the current situation of House Targaryen, led by King Jaehaerys Targaryen. He led the kingdom in continual peace and prosperity, having 10 dragons beside him that no might can stand against. But for some reason, the kingdom was left with no heir from King Jaehaerys' sons, so he called a great council to choose an heir. Many families were nominated, but was left in two in consideration. First, Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, the oldest descendant. Second is her younger cousin, Viserys Targaryen, the king's oldest male descendant. Viserys Targaryen was chosen to be the heir of the Dragonstone. That left Princess Rhaenys, a woman, not chosen. And I would like to share a good line in this narration that says, King Jaehaerys had to call a great council in choosing an heir to avoid a war, for he knew the truth that the only thing that can tear down the House of Dragon was itself. Now, the reign of the new king, King Viserys Targaryen, has started. Well, as we know, this is the prequel of the Game of Thrones, so understand, this is 172 years before the birth of Dany, or Daenerys Targaryen. Let me introduce you to our princess, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, the daughter of the now king, King Viserys Targaryen, a dragon rider of course. She has a best friend named Lady Alicent Hightower. Lady Alicent Hightower is the daughter of the king's hand, Sir Otto Hightower. And they share a very good friend relationship, and they are very comfortable with each other. The Queen, Queen Aemma Arryn, Princess Rhaenyra's mother, of course. She is pregnant, but I should say a very risky, miserable, and terrible pregnancy, because it looked like she is suffering from this pregnancy, and she should be attended well. She had lost 5 of her babies already in different reasons, and has told the king that it should be her last. She's tired of mourning and in pain. Despite not knowing the sex of the unborn child, King Viserys is a very positive that it will be a son, an heir. And I think that puts much pressure on the queen's side, to the king, and to their firstborn, Princess Rhaenyra. In this episode, Daemon is also introduced. He is the brother of the king, the commander of the City Watch. He is married but never attends his husband's duties to his wife, instead discriminates and despises her openly. It is seen that he has a whore that comforts him. Also in this episode, I think Daemon is suffering from. Now, Daemon seems to be a headache, but a very important character in this show. The movie shows his great interest of the Iron Throne. In his first exposure, he is sitting on the Iron Throne, which is a terrible, terrible act to do if you're not a king. He is for sure beheaded if caught, but in this scene, it is Princess Rhaenyra who saw him and just tolerated him. As an uncle and niece in that kind of relationship, they seem to have more deeper, and that's what we are excited to know more about. The uncle, Daemon, gifted his niece, Princess Rhaenyra, a necklace. I must say a special necklace of Valyrian steel. And there was a great chemistry sparked in this scene. Also, Daemon, being the commander of the King's Watch, running around the city with his soldiers looking for criminals, punishing them without due process, giving them his self-defined justice. It is, if a person's a murderer, he should be killed. If he's a rapist, cutting his private part is done, and cutting the hands of the thieves and so on. It was a really bloody and crazy night of watch. This happenings was brought about to the council, and to them it is not accepted. But the king, a brother to Daemon, defended him before the council. Talking about the council, Lord Corlys, the head of the House of Valyrian, was talking about the Free Cities growing alliance called the Triarchy. Free cities means cities that the kingdom has no jurisdiction. Cragan Dryhar, the self-proclaimed Prince of Triarchy, also called himself the Crab Feeder. As the word suggests itself, he feeds his enemies to the crabs, and it somehow caught the attention of the Lord Corlys, But the king just ignored his concerns, and in this episode, the crab feeder is not really highlighted. Maybe in the next episode. The kingdom has held heirs tournament, where it is witnessed by many people, the lords, the royals, and the king himself, where it turned out to be very bloody and violent. Well, it's not new, knowing that this is the prequel of Game of Thrones. Well, during this time is also the time of the queen doing the labor to give birth of the king's child, who he believes a son. Now, this is where it turns very controversial. It is so hard for the queen to give birth to the baby, so the king had to make a decision, and he agreed to cut his wife's stomach open to born the child. It was so disturbing. It was terrible because the king was just there the whole time, holding his wife's hand as she is being butchered brutally. Later then, the queen died, and despite the effort and sacrifice they made to save the child, which is a son, the son died too. Now the king was left with no wife and a son at once. This left the throne with only two options of heir: Daemon, the brother, and the princess Rhaenyra. A very hard decision a king should make. Upon the loss, Sir Otto Hightower, remember the hand of the king, sent his daughter, Lady Alicent, Princess Rhaenyra's best friend, to comfort the king through her presence. Something's fishy. This meeting soon keeps going on. On the other side, Daemon, after the death of the queen and the supposed heir, went to the House of Pleasure, declaring there his mockery of the supposed and dead heir, and that brought heated confrontation between him and the king. He called the king weak. This event made the king very angry and removed his right to be the next heir of the throne. That made Princess Rhaenyra the one and only heir of the throne. The last part of the episode shows the appointment of Princess Rhaenyra as the heir before the kingdom, and having the lords from different houses promising their loyalty to her as an heir and soon the queen.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and please support this channel by clicking the subscribe button. See you in the next episode.